The year of the film camera continues to bless us, and needless to say, I'm stoked. As I'm sure you've all seen, Lomography just put out their new 35mm point-and-shoot camera, the MCA. Now, over the past year or so, we've seen releases from the Pentax 17, a half-frame film camera, and the Rollei 35AF, a unique updated autofocus version of the legendary Rollei 35. Now, we've also seen this new camera from Analog Amsterdam, the Analog AF1, which they've made huge movement on this past year. While Lomography just shadow dropped this camera basically out of nowhere, from my understanding, I don't think really anyone knew that it was coming, and may have just ruined all of these cameras and the companies for good. Let me explain, but first, let's talk about the camera. Okay, so first it comes with a 32mm f2.8 multi-coated glass lens and compact metal body. Glass lens and metal body? Okay, let's let them cook. It seems like all these film cameras from the 90s and then these newer cameras too all switched to building with plastic, which is fine, but the robustness of metal is worth the marginal carry weight in my opinion. The lens is an updated version of the Minotaur 1, which from what I've seen online is a good lens. Nothing groundbreaking, but still good quality for sure. It also is able to effortlessly switch between point and shoot and full manual. It does this by switching to a zone focusing mode. Something I know that we've all wished for with these cameras is the ability to shoot it more manually, or I guess just with more control in general. I think especially with a point and shoot where it's like completely automatic, just point and shoot, being able to actually have some creative control to dictate the type of images that you're making with it is a huge plus. The closest focusing distance is 0.4 meters, which for a point and shoot is pretty damn good. The zones go from 0.4, 0.8, 1.5 to 3 meters, and then infinity. It also comes with a built-in flash with creative modes, a manual film advance lever, and intuitive LCD display. Now I'm curious what creative modes means for flash. Do we get like police strobing lights or like the crackling fire? Okay, obviously I'm just kidding, but I'm curious what this entails. It also has a PC port, again, just giving us more and more options to use the camera, which is great. Oh, the lens also has a filter thread on it to use filters and other Lomography accessories. Again, awesome. The battery is also a CR2 that has a USB-C port on the battery itself, so the battery is rechargeable. It has manual ISO setting, but also has DX code recognition. Again, more control, which most point and shoots are lacking. Again, it's so fucking cool to see that you can shoot this full manual, but also shoot it in automatic, and it's not skimping out on any materials or building design, I guess. Pardon my language, I'm just hyped on this. The camera also has front or rear curtain flash sync. Again, they've really thought of everything. They also claim the autofocus is as fast as a lightning bolt, and the battery can last for up to 10 rolls of film. It also warns you when you're taking a slow shutter photo below 1/30th of a second. It warns that there's gonna be a possible camera shake, which is pretty cool. The manual film advance lever looks nice and satisfying. To me, that tactile experience of advancing the film and just feeling like the tactile nature of the camera is so much of what goes into shooting film, so including that feels like a necessity to me. It also looks like it serves as a little thumb grip too, which is a nice touch. It seems like every element's design has been thought through extensively, which I love to see. Yeah, needless to say, this thing looks like a beast. It seems like Lomography has seen all of the complaints, I guess you could call it, and the constructive criticism that people have suggested on these new cameras, and it's kind of put it all into one nice, small, hopefully actually pocketable experience. Now, before we dive too deep into the optimism, I do want to heed some caution here. Well, to put it bluntly, historically, Lomography has not had the greatest track record when it comes to making quality products that last a long time. Now, I'm definitely not saying that the products are bad. It's not what I'm saying at all. But with some of the cameras specifically, they've come out a bit plasticky, which I know this one says that it's not plastic and that it's metal, but I think the principle stands to heed a little bit of caution. Hopefully more people get it in their hands and can kind of verify the quality. Again, I want to believe that Lomography has taken their due diligence with this, but again, with some of the older cameras, which again are totally different cameras for totally different markets, people realistically have not been the most high quality. So yeah, take this all with a grain of salt. Norby Whitney, a photographer in Japan, got his hands on the camera and he had tons and tons of good things to say about it, essentially calling it a feature-rich camera in a robust yet small body and is quite quality, not the plastic cameras of Lomography past that many of us are thinking of. Definitely great news to hear this from someone who's non-partisan, and yeah, definitely check out his video as he's the only person I'm pretty sure to have the actual hands-on camera, so if you're curious, check that out. That is until Lomography sends me a marketing version to review for Metal Fingers, so stay tuned. Now, as for the design, the lens is fully retractable, much like the Contax T2. And overall, it looks pretty damn nice. I think the all-black version looks great outside of a couple things that I'll probably tape over if I end up snagging one. Everybody's equal before the lens and behind it. While, yeah, it is a cute sentiment, I don't know, it's just a bit much for me. A little bit Tumblr core, if you will. I want manly cameras. Okay, just kidding. It's fine. I don't know, it's just It's just a bit corny for me, so I personally will probably just, like I said, put some electrical tape over it. It's honestly nothing at the end of the day, but figured I'd touch on it. I also really don't care for the actual logo of the camera. I don't know. It just looks kind of like a cheap, like disposable type logo. I don't know. I just think it being more minimal would be better and lean into the higher quality look. Otherwise, it definitely leans into that late 80s, early 90s look that I can definitely get behind. Okay, so compared to the other cameras, which keep in mind that we're just viewing this through the screen, I really do think that this could be the winner of the four. The Pentax 17 is currently paused for production, which is seemingly a whole issue in and of itself, but honestly, while half-frame cameras are cool and supposedly appeal to the modern world of analog cameras, I don't know. They clearly didn't really hit the mark fully. Now, I haven't shot with one, but it just seems like people are yearning for a more utilitarian camera that fits any type of photography need versus this more niche half-frame camera. Which, big respect for Ricoh and Pentax for releasing it and hopefully paves the way for more cameras, which now that I'm looking at it, the new Lomography MCA comes with a splitter tool and you can shoot multi-exposure on it. So basically you can shoot half-frame with this new Lomography camera, which feels like kind of trumps and makes the Pentax 17 a bit obsolete. Now, the Rollei 35 I did shoot with, and it was fine. I don't know, it's not really my style of camera, and adding autofocus to it just felt like kind of strange in my opinion. I don't know, that camera has had such a legacy for being the way it is. To go ahead and make it shoot so differently while being pretty damn similar in hindsight, again, I just don't think was the move. We've seen more and more people just want a manual SLR, and while this Lomo camera is definitely not that, it doesn't feel as gimmicky as these others, and again, just feels more utilitarian and usable. As for the AF1, well, I'm still holding out hope, and I do think it's going to be a solid product. However, all the manual control options, the materials used, and size all seems to swing in favor of this Lomography camera. And they're the same price, which we didn't even talk about. The Lomo camera retails for $549, and the first batch will be delivered right before Christmas. I don't know, pretty good timing for a gift for yourself, I think. Now, again, I definitely am excited for the AF1, but for Lomography to drop this out of nowhere, like Oblivion Remastered, oh baby, they know how to appeal to me. Now, the images which you've seen throughout the video look great, nice and sharp, and the color looks normal and realistic. It is Lomography, so obviously they shot some zany stuff through it, which isn't my cup of tea, but again, the amount of control you have to shoot the way you want is the biggest strength and appeal of this camera. Now, obviously these are all web-based images, and thus are compressed, so understanding exactly how sharp it is or how it stacks up against those other camera sharpness is going to be impossible, at least until there's more camera who shoot it, do tests, release their full resolution scans, etc. But it really does look promising. Now, okay, we've looked at it, we've compared it to the other cameras. What are my final thoughts on it? Well, like I said, yeah, I think there's a really solid chance this comes in and usurps sales from these other camera companies. For the price point it's at, the amount of control it's offering, and all the accessories you're getting with it, I think it could truly be one of the most usable utilitarian film cameras we've seen recently, and honestly one of the most to date. It covers so much ground while seemingly not skimping on materials or lens quality, and is offered at a super competitive price point. I know when the Pentax 17 and Rollei 35 AF were announced, people were super disappointed with the price point, which was always kind of confusing to me. We know that film camera companies are not around today, thus much of the knowledge, design expertise, machining, etc., has all gone and died. It's an expensive endeavor to go into manufacturing, especially for something so niche like film photography. Hell, I remember Mint saying they're risking their whole business making this Rollei 35, so hopefully it's done them well. I'm definitely not dogging on these camera companies at all. At the end of the day, they're risking their finances to help support my biggest hobby and put some more infrastructure for the hobby and culture as a whole, which is certainly commendable. I hope for tons of people these cameras are still appealing for one way or another, and that they continue to see sales not only for their own business as good, but for the good of film as a whole, and selfishly for us as film photographers. However, I do think this Lomography camera, if actually capitalized on what's promised, could be the biggest film product outside of actual new film since I've gone back to shooting on film. Lomography is a huge company and has the means to make this an actual successful product, so hopefully we'll see some success from it, thus bringing more film products out in the space. I would assume there will be support for the camera or some type of warranty or repair program, which I've preached before. Infrastructure for cameras is always one of the biggest ways to secure purchasers, in my opinion. Which one of the biggest arguments I've seen historically for not buying a Rollei 35 or Pentax 17 or whatever has been, why would you not spend $500 to $800 just on an older camera? But if these cameras have some type of warranty or have the ability to be repaired by the company, then you're not chancing it by potentially purchasing a time bomb, which eventually is just going to die, and that company is gone out of business, is long gone, and there's no one repairing your $800 investment. All right, so yeah, I think I covered most of what I wanted to say. Definitely super exciting news. Like I said, probably some of the best news we've gotten, honestly, in some years for film photography. Lomo just came out of nowhere to say that they're one of the biggest film retailers in the space, and I'm thoroughly impressed. Yeah, there's another news video coming here in a couple days as there's been a ton of film news, so stay tuned for that. Otherwise, to the next one. Thank you guys for watching. Stay safe, stay shooting.